the red hair. This is a really good story, actually. Like I told you, I left a career job making 6 digits. I flew up to Stamford, Connecticut to the headquarters to meet Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson, that was the top dopist for WWF. After I met and sat in their offices, Vince walked me over to the art department, and he already had my whole character sketch. He already had how I looked. He knew that I was truly Native American and truly a card-carrying Native American with a proud tribe in North Carolina. So he asked me a question because my character had a red mohawk drawn in the artwork. He said, "Do natives ever have a red mohawk?" I said, "Of course they do." The Mohawk Nation, which is the warrior nation among all the tribes, would always do their hair with red dye before they would go into battle. So Vince says, "Okay, that's great." Then he looked at me. This is probably one of the most important questions of my career, because Vince McMahon, the boss, looked at me and says, "Listen, we would like for you to have a red mohawk, but listen, we want you to have a red mohawk all the time. Meaning when you're walking around the airports, when you go into the gym, when you're back home, we want you to have a red mohawk all the time." Then he looked at me and he asked me a very important question. He says, "What do you think about that?" Now, I can imagine what would have happened if I'd have looked at Vince and said, "You know what? I don't like that idea. There probably would have never been a Tatanka." But I said, "No problem, Vince." Well, let me tell you how Vince McMahon is. When I said no problem, guess what he already had scheduled? In Stamford, Connecticut, he already had scheduled an appointment for me to go to a hair salon. They already had the hair color there. Poppy Seed Red, it was called. He already had the hair color at the stylist saloon. So I left WWE headquarters, went and got a haircut, real tight on his sides, big mohawk, and he colored my hair. And I actually came back to Titan Towers later that day with a red mohawk. Then I had to fly back home, and everybody looked at me and said, "What happened to you?" I said, "I just signed the World Wrestling Federation." That's what happened. It's a great story. The red hair will be what we did in our storyline. The red symbolized the bloodline of all the Native American nations. So it was very powerful for what it stood for.